even before Trump came to power or came up in 2015, the big issue here was you didn't have any good situations or any good scenarios in the sense that there were people who were either totally anti-immigration and like not looking at where it could be beneficial and where a country was kind of built on that, or there were people who were like, well, since our system's fucked, we got to let everyone else in. The system's set up for people of means. It's set up for people who need to hire a lot of different lawyers, go through a lot. I mean, you've lived it yourself. I'm preaching to the choir here.
I had to prove my marriage was real. They're seeing China probably going to take a walk in the park pretty soon. 10 years down the line, who knows? That's what I hear.
So you're from like this eye-hand perspective.
It's not even that I'm from that perspective. I mean, you see all these people showing up at the border. Mm-hmm. They might be all part of a giant military operation to invade the United States covertly, or they might be people that are like, fuck, China sucks. Let me figure out
both.
Or both.
Yeah.
But I think I've managed to see a bit of both.
Okay.
There's no fucking migration to China that I can see. There's a bunch of empty fucking cities out there. Mm-hmm. There is a bunch of companies, and again, this is not. I've followed Peter Sahan. I've never talked to him before, and I've heard some of his opinions. Some of them are interesting. Some of them, I don't know.
He speaks on a lot of things.
He speaks on a lot of things, but I'm probably on the same boat as him as far as China's going under in a few years probably. I don't know how long, 10 years maybe. I don't know. But if people are doubting that, like, oh, yeah, you're full of shit. China's about to fucking take over the world. Then why are all their fucking industrial plants moving to Mexico?
I mean, my counter to that would be they're moving a lot of, not just industrial plants, they're moving a lot of things around the world to buy influence.
They're moving to Mexico because they're running out of hands. I think that's what's happening. And also the cost of moving things from Mexico into the United States, which is their fucking biggest market, would be fucking...
Right there.
So there's a few things. Mexico's about to become this giant industrial plant, probably going to replace China in the next 10 years, and the U.S. probably knows about that, and also your enemies probably know that. There are talks and plans of a new Panama Canal going across Mexico.
Yeah, what's going on with this? I've heard whispers, but I haven't looked into it.
They're trying to figure out a way to basically make a Mexican Panama Canal.
Okay.
And that would be huge if that happens. And that would benefit the Mexican people greatly, maybe, depending on who's in charge, or it would benefit foreign powers and people that don't give a fuck about Mexico and its people. So I don't know. There are many things that are setting the stage for Mexico to be basically this giant economic powerhouse that could have control over its own destiny, or can have others controlling its destiny. And I think in a big way, the United States wants to control that destiny because it's thinking about America first. And I get it. I understand that aspect of it. And on the other end, there's a bunch of foreign entities trying to influence Mexico and its government, foster dissent and conflict, pump substances into Mexico, influence political candidates on one side or the other, and basically foster this lawlessness in parts of its institutions that are now fostering this phenomenon of narco politics.
Think you only need sunscreen in the summer? UV rays are sneaky. Not to mention things like pollution and blue light exposure that quietly wreak havoc on your skin, speeding up cellular aging. That's why you need a broad spectrum sunscreen every day. My favorites, OneSkin's SPFs for the face and body. OneSkin is the only skin longevity company proven to reverse cellular aging. Their SPFs block UV rays with non-nano zinc oxide and neutralize the free radicals that come from UV, pollution, and blue light with a potent blend of antioxidants. And the mastermind ingredient behind it all is the one you've heard me talk about in the past. OneSkin's proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient to target a root cause of skin aging called cellular senescence. You'll only find OS1 in OneSkin's line of products, so be sure to add OS1 Face SPF and OS1 Body SPF to your daily routine. Head over to oneskin.co and use code Julian to save 15% off your first purchase. That link is in the description below. You guys have heard me do multiple ads for OneSkin now over the past several months, and I actually don't have the product sitting next to me at the moment because I used the out of it and need a reload right now, and OneSkin's sending it this week. But I personally love using their OS1 products for your face and below the eyelids. It's something I started working into my nightly routine and even my morning routine as well. Having used these products myself for a while now, I can tell you that you need to try using the OS1 products at OneSkin too. As I said, the OS1 peptide is the first ingredient to help your skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self, and you can get access to it along with 15% off OneSkin's products by using code Julian at oneskin.co today. That's 15% off at oneskin.co using code Julian. Please support my show and tell them Julian sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you. And those countries deal directly with the cartels in many cases themselves to be able to do this business and get permission. So the cartels are basically just for sale.
Yeah. Mexico is part of a giant proxy war that's probably going on. And some of the people on the other side of that proxy war are probably
Sure.
the People's Republic of China. And that's an aspect or an element of it that doesn't get talked about a lot, I think. And the final part, I think, that people should really pay attention to as far as this whole issue is if immigration is such a big issue in the United States, where's all the immigration reform?
Well, I've been saying that forever because, even before Trump came to power or came up in 2015, the big issue here was you didn't have any good situations or any good scenarios in the sense that there were people who were either totally anti-immigration and not looking at where it could be beneficial and where our country was kind of built on that, or there were people who were like, well, since our system's fucked, we got to let everyone else in. The system's set up for people of means. It's set up for people who need to hire a lot of different lawyers, go through a lot. I mean, you've lived it yourself. I'm preaching to the choir here.
I had to prove my marriage was real, and I had to.
How do you do that? How do you prove it? You have to
so this is weird.
They take you to a back room and they say, get it on?
They separate. No, they separate you. They separate you. They ask you questions. I had my daughter with me. Right?
Oh, man.
I had my daughter with me and an album of pictures of me and my ex-wife all the way back to when we were 15 or 16 because we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Our families were like friends. And that wasn't enough. I had to go through 3 or 4, if you count the last one, 4 interviews. Obviously, probably my background was like a thing I was trying to figure out. But I had to go through 4 interviews. Meanwhile, a person of West African descent next to me who was going through the same process got his green card in his first meeting because of a quota that they had.
A quota?
Yeah, and he couldn't speak English. And
you speak American English.
And I'm like, hey, I have a kid, and I kind of worked you need to come back again. We need more. That was wild for me.
Yeah.
The other thing that was wild for me is coming out of the immigration process and getting handed a bunch of information pamphlets and ways of getting government money.
Ways of getting government money?
Yeah. So hey, welcome to the United States. This is how you can get on all this type of welfare. And you should live here because if you live here, this is going to get you access to this, this, and this, and this.
Oh, my God.
Mind you, I'm Mexican. In my mind, I'm like, don't get trabajar. I had to fucking work. I got to go to work. Right? And all of a sudden, I have this portfolio I qualify for this. I qualify for that. I should get medical exams, and I can qualify for this money. So that's the reception that some parts of the United States have to people coming into this country legally. A shitty, horrible immigration process that is very unfair, with a giant fucking line across the street that people cross or jump over. Every now and then I get hey Ed, you're fucking very anti-immigrant. What? I'm not at all. As a legal immigrant, it makes me feel a certain way when I see a bunch of Venezuelan dudes riding around mopeds in New York with a debit card full of fucking cash, living in a fucking hotel.
Yep.
I didn't get any of that. I had to beg people to be able to like, fuck, hey, I just came here. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Can I fucking stay at your place for a bit? And I need to get a job. Or I had to fucking beg people.
Yeah.
Figure shit out. At that time she was 2.5, almost 3.
An American daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her mom's American. Her mom's parents are Americans. And she's working, but it's California, so I have to.
Was she from San Diego?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you knew each other.
Yeah. So I had to figure shit out.
Yeah.
And I can understand why a large segment of people who are of my descent get pissed off when they see the immigration process now.
Yep.
And they see all these people get free money, free stuff, free plane tickets.
Crazy.
Flown around.
What was that app? Like the one?
The CB1 app.
Oh my God.
Again, I understand. Yes, some of these people were at risk, but we can't generalize it, though. Mm-hmm. Some of these people were at risk, but some of these people were fucking gang members. I remember going on a flight, I think it was Dallas, and there's like 4 of them, Venezuelan dudes, with a portfolio thing they were carrying for their paperwork because they don't have IDs, so they had to fly with this paperwork they give them. All of them were wearing hoodies, covering up their heads and their arms. It's fucking hot. It's Dallas in the summer. Mm-hmm. I was like,
Covering some pets.
And
things.
I'm not vilifying all immigration into the US.
I understand completely.
But you have to realize that as an immigrant myself, seeing some of the shady shit that happens around it, you're like, motherfuckers. Ukrainian refugees come and camp out on the border in Tijuana.
They go to Tijuana?
Yeah, they spend probably, I don't know, let's say a month, and now they're all across. So now all of them are in the U.S. immediately. I'm not saying it's because they're white, although it might have something to do with it. I'm not saying it's that, but then you get the Hondurans and Venezuelans and stuff like
They're
that.
Like,
and
fuck them.
They make a giant camp in the north. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of weird shit. I'm not saying maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's because the war was going on, so they qualify for refugee status.
Yeah.
But, we have to realize now, more than ever, that this immigration system is fucked.
Yes. It's so fucked.
And people need to realize this. And again, something I said 4 years ago on another platform. Every single Mexican that makes it across that border illegally now has a legal claim for asylum because they're fleeing a country that is being torn apart by a terrorist organization.
Yeah. I don't think they thought about that one.
Hopefully there's somebody in charge that is thinking about a lot of these issues. But people asking for a path to citizenship right now, everybody that made it across that border after the kickoff of the drug war, like I started being active in 2004. I think the drug war probably kicked off in 2006, 2007. Again, hazy, got hit in the head a shit ton of times. Time blindness is an issue that I have. Legit.
You're doing pretty well today.
So all of these people that made it across that border illegally have a claim.
Yeah.
Like, hey, why did you leave fucking Nogales?
Terrorista.
Talibanes, There was like a cartel group that actually called themselves the Taliban. There's now they have a claim.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's going to be some sort of I don't know. Immigration reform should be at the top of the list. Yeah, build a wall, do everything you want, but immigration reform is not even being fucking talked about.
Yeah, and it hasn't been forever. It's a huge problem.
So I don't think. So again, I don't think the claim that this is being done for some sort of national security aspect or that it's being done to work against a terrorist organization, like it's there's something off about that whole process.
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.